Hello, today we're going to be talking about my Krenko mob boss deck. Krenko is a 2 red red 3/3 legendary goblin warrior. It's tap, create X 1/1 red goblin tokens, where X is the number of goblins you control. So you can see he can get exponentially more powerful the more goblins you have. Just cranks them out and helps you get more. A few ways that I have this deck to break him. I've got stuff such as Sting the Glinting Dagger, which grants haste, so you can tap as soon as possible and then untaps each combat. So in a full pod, he can, if this is equipped to him, he can tap, I believe, 5 times per round. 1,000-year elixir can activate abilities as if it had haste, so even if he doesn't have haste, you can do it, and then you can pay 1 to untap a creature. And Helm of the Host, you can create copies of him with haste that can tap and do that. Then some other stuff. I do have a dockside in here. Doesn't really need to be in here. It's just a tribal stuff that can replace it. Some protection and extra stuff. There's Chimil. It makes my stuff uncounterable and stuff. A way they have to get a bunch of tokens. It's also a board wipe. It's got Mog Infestation. Destroy all creatures. Summon target player controls and put 2 goblin tokens into play for each creature they had. And then stuff like from exile. I've got all 3 Squeeze. Dubious Monarch, the Immortal, and Goblin Nabob, all with various special arts, whether it's Secret Lair, and these are like stained glass variants. Then I've got this Goblin Tunneler, which can make stuff with power 2 or less be unblockable, which is something which is especially good with Warren Instigator, where you can make this unblockable, which can let it put in 2 goblins from my hand for free. Then there's some stuff like there's Kiki Jiki and Fable of the Mirror Breaker, which turns into Reflection of Kiki Jiki. So create some nice token copies of non-legendaries, which can do that for a bunch of the tribal lords. An extra ramp. Got stuff like Skirk Prospector, and sack 1 of the many tokens for some mana. A Throne of Eldraine, can add 4 red and or draw cards using the red mana. A Battle Hymn, add 1 to mana to the pool for each creature. A Ruby Medallion, it's nice. Art. And then a Brightstone Ritual, which is like the Battle Hymn, but only for goblins, but that's going to be everything. So it's just a cheaper Battle Hymn in this deck. And then the Blood Moon, which is some stacks, some ramp, and it also really helps the first of any tribal support pieces that I'm going to show, which is the Goblin King, which gives other goblins Mountain Walk, which if I have Blood Moon out, means if an opponent has a non-basic land, but it also gives all goblins +1/1. Then there's other stuff, like there's Krenko, 10th Street Kingpin. This is about pumping out tokens a bit less efficiently than Mob Boss, but it's second best Krenko. There's Ib Halfheart, where if they're blocking my 1/1s with some big stuff, or stuff that have 4 of this toughness and it won't kill. Just sacrifice them to deal 4 damage to the creatures blocking it, so die anyway. And if I wanted to, I could sacrifice mountains for goblins, but probably won't happen much. Give goblins +1/1 in haste, so that can also help Krenko, gives him haste. The Moria Marauder, whenever a goblin deals combat damage, loot. This one makes goblins 1 cheaper and have haste. So it's a nice goblin recruiter, which can search a library for any number of goblins and put them on top in any order. Goblin matron, which can search for 1 goblin. More often than not, will probably be that goblin recruiter. This is Caged Sun. It's not necessarily specifically tribal as much as color support, but this is a monocolor deck. So it buffs all my creatures and produces extra mana. Kindred Charge. Create tokens of each creature with chosen type, which will be goblin. Then Logan, haste, and then sail. It's Goblin General. Never attacks. All goblins get +1/1. Patrick Banner. That's Mana Rock that give all goblins +1/1. Give all goblins +2/2. And it can cast it for free if just tapping a few goblins. Stoneforge Masterwork. If I remember correctly, where is he? 10 Street Kingpin. It's just equal to power, not necessarily 1/1 counter, so you can get stuff like this and him, creating a lot more tokens. The Goblin Trash Master boosts all the goblins and then can sacrifice 1 to destroy any artifact. So if an opponent has a troublesome artifact, you can sack 1 of the many tokens to get rid of it. 3-tree city. Add in red mana equal to number of goblins control for 2. Shared animosity. Whenever a creature control attacks, it's +1 for each creature that shares a creature type with each attacking creature that shares a type with it. Bandit Lord. Each other goblins get +1/1, and then it also gives a nice damage from all the goblins entering. So we've got like the sting on him, got the 1,000-year elixir out, can like tap Krenko 3 times and get out a lot of goblins and tap him for 1 red mana to deal a bunch of damage to another player. There's a Coat of Arms. This is a symmetrical effect, but if no one else is playing tribal, they'll probably only get incidental benefits, whereas I'll get a bunch. Muxus. Whenever he enters the battlefield, reveal the top 6 cards, put all goblins with mana value 5 or less among them onto the battlefield, and it's on the bottom. This is especially good after doing like a goblin recruiter. You can order like however many cards, at least 6, to be goblins mana value 5 or less, and then have him enter, and then whenever he attacks, gets +1/1 until end of turn for each other goblin. There's a Goblin Chirurgeon. You can sacrifice a goblin to regenerate a creature. You can sacrifice one of the 1/1s to regenerate like Krenko or one of the other big important people that matters. Pashlik Mons. Whenever he or any of the other goblins die, he deals a damage to any target and can pay 3 in red to sacrifice a goblin to create 2 goblins. Molten Echoes. Whenever a non-token creature of the chosen type enters the battlefield, control create a token copy that gains haste and then exiles instead. There's Goblin Enchantment and Boggart Shenanigans. Whenever another goblin is put into the graveyard from play, have it deal 1 damage to target player. You can have it, that'll be nice. Goblin Caves, chant a basic mountain to give all goblins +0/+2. Goblin Shrine, chant a basic mountain to give all goblins +1/+0. But if it does leave play, it deals 1 damage to all goblins. So, but there'll be plenty of things buffing toughness as well. And this is whenever goblin enters, put a quest counter. And as long as there are 5 or more quest counters, creature I control get +2/+0. There's Echoing Assault, which rests my tokens, gives all creature tokens menace. Then if I attack a player, choose a non-token creature that's attacking it and create a token copy, except it's a 1/1 that enters tapped and attacking. And sacrifice in the end step. So it's the end of important key cards. Let's run through the rest of the deck. First up, we got 2 fairly similar things in Horde of Boggarts and Battle Squadron. Battle Squadron has flying. Horde of Boggarts has to be blocked by 2 or more creatures. So both got some evasion. Instigator creates a goblin token when it enters. Dragon Fodder, an Arsonist, Krenko's Command, Goblin Barrage, Goblin Sky Raider, Tin Street Dodger, Gutter Snipe, Goblin Shortcutter, Goblin Medics, Exuberant Fuseling, Crown of Fury, Goblin Wizardry, Grenzo Havoc Razor, Empty the Warrens, the Reaver Cleaver, Gilded Lotus, Swift Foot Boost. It can also help Krenko, giving him haste. Lithoform Engine can copy activated ability Krenko or other stuff. Impact Tremors can also help win with all the goblins entering. Soul Ring, Memorial to War, and then a bunch of basic mountains. That's this deck. I think it's pretty fun. I like Krenko. He's a nice little tribal guy. Creates tons of goblins, tons of fun. But please like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Bye. The link to the Mox Field will be in the description down below. So the link to my Patreon. So please check those both out.